Hi, my name's Keelan Gallagher. I'm a writer for Film in Dublin, and I'm here to tell you about the most recent entry in my article series 7525, which examines the movies of 1975 and compares and contrasts them with the movies of this year, 50 years later, in terms of the quite similar political and cultural context of both years. For part 3, the most recent edition, the first set of films that I've compared is James Gunn's Superman and the Jack Nicholson vehicle, The Passenger. In The Passenger, Jack Nicholson plays a TV journalist who, to escape the drudgery of his life, assumes the identity of a dead man he meets who looks just like him. In Superman, Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor is very hung up on what Superman's existence on Earth means for his identity as a quote-unquote superior individual, a person of superior intellect and wealth. The difference between them and how they affect the two men's identities is the crux of the comparison. The second set of films that I compare are Zach Cregger's recent horror hit Weapons with the 1975 Peter Weir film Picnic at Hanging Rock. Both films look at the disappearance of young people. In Picnic at Hanging Rock, it is a group of teenage girls from a private school in Australia. In Weapons, it looks at a group of children from a third grade class, and I examine how they both relate to personal security, child safety, trust in institutions, and all these other things wrapped up in these two fascinating movies. The third comparison that I make is the Dakota Johnson rom-com, or not so rom-com, Materialists, and the 1975 Japanese kaiju film Terror of Mechagodzilla. It might seem like a silly comparison, but I look at the fact that both films are centered around a theme that is pretty well established and maybe a little bit obvious. In Materialists, the film focuses on how love and marriage can only really exist through personal connection rather than looking for statistics. And in Terror of Mechagodzilla, the news is that manipulating the earth and trying to bring it under your control is bad. And neither of those are particularly new, nor were they in 1975, but the way in which the comparisons are made are distinctly modern and I think worthy of a watch. The final set of films that I compare are Ari Aster's recent return film Eddington with the absolute standout classic film of 1975, Dog Day Afternoon. Dog Day Afternoon stars Al Pacino as a bank robber named Sonny, who in his quest to find a better life for himself becomes a kind of folk hero in New York as he's seen as standing up to the police. And really what he's trying to do is use that persona to escape from a bad situation that he himself has created. In Eddington, Joaquin Phoenix's Sheriff Joe Cross is living in an unhappy household, an unhappy marriage. His mother-in-law despises him. His townspeople don't respect him. And he has the enemy of all enemies in Pedro Pascal's Ted Garcia, mayor of Eddington. Joaquin Phoenix believes that by destroying Garcia's reputation and lifting himself up as somebody who stands up for the little people, he can improve his own life. And it doesn't turn out exactly right. I hope you will give this article and possibly the other two editions of 7525 a read. Thank you very much for watching.